Good morning, good afternoon. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hey, all right. Timo, what's going on? How are you guys doing? Hey, Raj. Good afternoon from sunny and hot Liverpool. Hope you all had a good weekend. Yeah, it was a good weekend. It's actually still the weekend here. It's a three day holiday. That's good, I am listening. Good to see you. It's I think it's like 30 degrees Celsius, so whatever that is in Fahrenheit. Hey, Umar, what's going on? Christian, how you doing? Okay. I guess we have to get to work, eh? Hey, Jeannie, how you doing? You're still half asleep? Good. Good, good, good. I'm good. I have not taken a trade all day. I did my balance zones. Hey, Colin, how you doing? And then I went out of the house, just walking around, just enjoying the day off. Came back here to do a session, and as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna bolt. Go enjoy that sun for as long as it lasts. So let's take a look and see what we're dealing with this morning. Now, I put out a video on the weekend in our room. I put it on Twitter as a weekend update, just what you guys could expect. And I was looking at this area here at 71. We're underneath that now. We've had some nice liquidation at night. It allows the shorts that are trapped between 28 and 71 to come in and do some covering. Right? And our low of the evening is 64.60, so it's just a little bit above that 58 quarter level. Overnight inventories, I'd say probably 80% short. We're about 80% of the volume of the session is underneath the close. I did not, Alexander. So I I took advantage of the fact that it's a holiday here, and as soon as I was done with the morning session, I booked it out of the apartment, and I've been out all morning. I, in the UK, when you get a sunny day, you got to take advantage of it, right? It's a sunny day, it's a holiday. No one was even asking me questions, so I bolted, right? And so I just came back and took a look. I don't know. They just call it a bank holiday, Cryptomania. I don't need an excuse or a reason to have a holiday. Now that I've learned to enjoy holidays, I don't ask questions. If people say it's a holiday, that's all you need to tell me. So, let's see. So, with 80% short inventory, do we get a move up? Where's the bid, right? Now, here's the problem with these Fed moves, right? How much of this move gets retraced? The problem is these profiles over the last couple of weeks have been very sort of large, stressed out distribution, accumulation, distribution again. So, because I haven't really been paying attention, when the market opens, I'm going to be watching that overnight low. And if it doesn't get taken out, we'll get some rotation higher. But how much of this move was just momentum traders and people who got short under 30 coming into cover? And then when we stuck out these highs, it just ripped. So how much do we retrace, right? And the answer is I don't know. But that's wonderfully liberating because right now we came into that 64.60. We found some bids. The overnight point of control is still way up here at 74 and a quarter, and it hasn't had a chance to move down. It's 2,600 contracts, and we haven't printed anywhere near that here, right? We do not have a poor low. But I know what you're saying. There is no poor low. There is a proper low. There's only one high and one low. That low has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks of excess. So that is not a poor low. And the high is not a poor high. Let me go and show you. It makes a little bit more sense when you condense the profiles and hide all these kooky drawings. So that's not a poor low, that's not a poor high. A poor low is when you have a double bottom or one tick of excess, right? So no poor low. Let's see if we hold this area and if we start rotation up. If we rotate up, we'll start to correct inventory. We already have a little bit. You know, the short sellers are coming in, they're buying a little bit, right? Let's see if we can shift that point of control down. Yeah, it's definitely not a poor high. It's not a poor high or a poor low. But that's okay. It's Monday. Not the end of the world. That definitely means your chart is not set up properly, crypto. Because if you're seeing a poor low, you probably have too many ticks per letter. Just go look at your settings. So I did these balance zones. They're a little bit big. They're 64, 74 to 80. It's a 6-point balance zone. Had I been here, I might have gone long here in that 62 area, gotten stopped out and then taken it again. But I kind of, this morning when Raj kept saying it's a bank holiday, it's a bank holiday. So I thought, when in Rome, and if the Romans are being lazy, hell, I should be lazy too, right? So why not? should have one tick per letter, Cryptomania. If you want to be aware of things like poor lows and poor highs and single prints, you should run one tick a letter. I don't know what the TradingView TPO software is like. After a big move like Friday, it's very hard to say it's going to do this or it's going to do that. I prefer the market to tell me. And kind of being away from the screens today allows me to come and take a look at it and sort of let the market tell me which way it's going to go, right? Right now I have no bias at all, right? I mean, how could you really have a bias when you have single prints that are from 64.28 all the way to 71, right? It's kind of hard to be biased. You know, overnight inventory is short, but are we going to get that movement up? Well, we're seeing a little bit of it now, but there's a seller at 67 and there's a seller at 68. So it's a little choppy. Now also, it's the last week of summer. Next weekend is a long weekend, right? In case anyone's forgotten or who does not live in the United States, right? Or Canada. Next weekend is a long weekend. And Thursday is month end, right? So Umar, you're right. There's a lot of trap shorts from Friday. And we've kind of found the bid at the 62-63 level. Let's see if that holds when the market opens in 16 minutes. I kind of notice that it's been it's sideways, sideways up, sideways up. Does that continue? Does we just kind of go sideways and up? Right now, I don't think it's going to be that busy today, but let's see. We've got 115,000 contracts in Globex. Just use the stops. So let's talk about some trades off the open. If the market opens, say the market were to open right here at 66, and you decided, you know what, I'm short, right? So if you say I'm short, your first target is under 64, that X low right here, right? That's going to be your first target if you're short, right? And if you're 66 short, your stop's going to be at that X high, right? If you're long, that's your first target. Your second target is here at the V high, which is around 68.25. And then you'll just use the upper stops as your targets. Have some news at 10, that's good. Right? So that's basically the opening range that you're looking at, right? Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I use TradingView for crypto because it's a free thing and it's got a nice clean chart. But I have not had a chance to look at the TPO. I don't even know how to get it. I barely know how to manipulate TradingView, right? With Sierra, I have tons of. I mean, crypto, you're in my room, right? Just go and download my chart book for Sierra. There's a lady called Diana Penna, and she has much better videos than I could ever do. I'm not a software setup guy, right? There's a lot of resources available to you for both of the types of software who are much better at teaching software than I am. So for Sierra chart, go look up Diana Penna. For TradingView, I have no idea, but I am sure because it's a very popular software that somebody has some good setup videos. It would be a hell of a lot better than if I did one. You know what I mean? I tend to stay in my lane, right? I don't have time to go and review all types of software. I've been using Sierra Chart since 2012. NinjaTrader has some nice TPO software from what I've seen, right? What do they call it? It's Rancho Cucamonga or something like that that they have for TPO software, right? Yeah, so we have sellers here at around 67, 68. No one really seems to be in that much of a rush. Hey, RJS, where you been? Yes, we are still using this chat. Hope you and your family are doing well. Good stuff. Miami, what's going on, brother? Hey, Omen. So after the day after a big move for me is sort of like, let's see what these guys are up to, right? Hey, Korshi, good. I'm enjoying this bank holiday. The sun is out, and as soon as I'm done this session, I'm going to be back out in the sun. Hey, back one, welcome to the room. Good to have you with us. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm going to start doing those. Well, summer's going to be over, right? So we're going to have to all get back to work. So I'll be doing more videos. I've been working on the holding trades longer thing too. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in Liverpool. Not a cloud in the sky. I can see the liver birds. They're getting a nice suntan. Rancho Cucamonga? I don't know. It's Rancho something or the other, Dan. And when I think of Rancho, I think of Rancho Cucamonga in California. Hey, Pollux, what's going on? It's been really dry in the UK. It has not rained at all this summer. I think the grass is brown everywhere. We have no complaints here. It's been a beautiful summer in Liverpool. No complaints. And Everton played their very first soccer game in the new stadium. I think it was yesterday or Saturday. So they think they're all happy about that. I have no idea if they won. goodness. The S word? I don't know. What's the S word? Oh, soccer. Oh, that's right. I'm an import. They just pat me on the head and go, it's football, you know. So, folks, we have a seller here, and you know, if you're a long and if you're a short, we've got a seller right before 68. The other sellers are just parked here at 69. Welcome to all the folks joining us on YouTube. Once again, I'm JJ. This is the tradingsyndicate.org, and we appreciate you coming and spending time with us. You know, this is really interesting. Remember I had this old level at 60, 60 and a half, and we would always kind of stop or look below it and come back up? We kind of stopped again here. Did you notice that? Check it out. I missed this. I completely missed this. We had a level I drew. It was on one of these other charts. Oh, here it is. Right? I was saying, you know what? It was that shelf from the Skyhook day. And it was 60, 60 half. That's where we threw the market up. And interestingly enough, the low is 60, 63 quarters. So I find it interesting. Market structure is very, very fascinating. You see, we still have not violated that. Let's see if we take that out today. Hey, Sonny, how you doing? Hey, London, how's it going? Right? Let's see if we take out that piece of structure. Because once again, we're above that 64, 60 half. And that was just the reason I drew that out was because this day here, we had a very interesting phenomena where we had the market stopping dead at this structure right here. And that's where everybody was caught short. And then, of course, we filled those shorts in. We had a nice deep move down and right back up. But once again, we're just kind of stuck there again. I don't know. It might mean nothing. It might be might be a detail. Now, these details, of course, are things that I just look at. You know, it's not actionable if, you know, it doesn't work when you actually trade it. So it's not something, if you were taking a trade, say you were going long using that level, right? Now, I was out when we came down under 62. Had I taken that trade, had I had my crap together and I had taken that trade, I'd say I went long 61, 62, I would have just put my stop under there, right? I wouldn't really waste a lot of money on a big stop because I don't know if that's just an anomaly or whether that's something repeatable, right? Nice work. Well done. There you go, Sonny. 2 longs, 2 points, 3 contracts each. You made $700. Now you're going to keep that $700. That, my friend, is a beautiful thing. That's poetry in motion, brother. You're cooking with gas. That's how you do it. That's a nice trade. Nice 2 trades. You're trading for income. You can't ask for more than that. Right? Month ends can sometimes be a pain in the butt to trade. I haven't traded at all. You're welcome. You're really welcome. I'm glad that it's working for you and that you're making money from it. That's what we want. We want you guys to actually earn a living. You know? That is so important that we give you information that you can use. You know, one of my friends was reading a book and she was asking me questions about the book, but I was noticing the book as, you know, I like books as much as everybody else, but it didn't actually give people any kind of actionable information. That's hard, you know, because you spend so much time trying to learn, but then how do you put it into action where you can actually use it? You know, like for example, when I draw out where the sellers are, you know, it's likely that you will come into these areas and hit some resistance because that's where the sellers initiated on the move down, right? And they'll be there again because they have size. The only reason that they're going to lift that offer, see how they're right there, right? You see how they're there? And they come and they sell into it because they have to move size. And if it's a spot where people bought, people will buy there again, you see. The look below and fail is one of the simplest trades in the world, isn't it, Sonny? Because it's based on the oldest principle in finance. When supply runs out, price goes up, right? So there are sell orders that take the market underneath 62. When those orders are completed and there's nothing to be sold under 62, the market rotates up. So you buy 63, right, or 64, put your stop at 62, because if it gets taken out, then there's no reason holding inventory at higher prices, right? The business reason for your trade is gone. If the business reason for your trade is there, the market will rotate higher. You'll take that 63, 64 product and you'll sell it into the 67, 68 buyers, right? So this is liquidating traders, sell into wholesale hands. First the shorts come in, then wholesale comes in and buys. We buy with wholesale, and then we sell back into the retail flow for profit. This is how this is how commerce works, right? It's how used car lots work. You know, people sell their stuff at a discount, right? Slap a little armor all on the tires, and then you go put it back out on the lot and resell it, right? Very simple way of doing business. This way we can focus on execution, right? So you're not fumbling about when you're executing. So here we go. So we opened in the single prints. I'm going to knock that down a bit. Now, if you can't figure out what to do, don't worry, folks. Let the market open and it will tell you what to do. Just give it some time to talk, right? Right to VWAP. Now we're going to rotate back down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find the bid. We're going to find that area where the buyers come in. Is it 68 and a half? Is that just off the open? Or are there still buyers at 68 and a half? Right? We have sellers at VWAP. We figure that much out. Right? So now we go and find the bid in the opening. Right? Here we go. See, look, there's a bid right there. Does it hold? Right? Now I come into those single prints and we're going to backfill, looking for that big buyer. Right to that X stop. I'm glad, Sonny. That's really cool. Very happy. Well, inventory is short, RJS, but it's not normal market conditions because of what happened on Friday. So you're going to have to be a little open-minded today because we did not, if inventory was short, really short, we got to move up right away. We didn't. We had to move down off the open, right? There's quite a strong seller at VWAP, right? So if you've been away for a while, just sit and watch. We had a big move on Friday, right? The market, it might need a day or two to digest that move and validate that move. Or is that move not valid anymore? Let's see, right? You don't ever want to be in the process of price discovery, right? You want the market to do that. You want larger traders to be involved in that process because they can afford to, right? Large, massive traders, they can be a 15, 20, 50, 100 grand offside. That's not a big deal for them when they're trading $800 million, right? But for you being 15 grand offside, pretty serious, right? Yeah, just let's see where the bids are, right? Oh, pretend we're snipers, right? I'd love to see the overnight low and this 6460 area get tested, right? I'd like to see what's lurking down here in RTH. But I don't want to be the one to find out. I'd rather let other people find out. If you see sellers, go ahead, scalp short with the seller, right? Nothing wrong with that. Just mind, just make sure that you don't fall asleep in a trade when price discovery is happening, right? Yeah, let's go see what's underneath 63. Seems like we have sellers at 67. Oh, cleared them out. Okay, now we're over 68. Let's see if we can stay above 68. We have sellers at 69. We've got to go clean them out. Little bit of daylight above 69, but the sellers are still there. I'm offered one at 69 and a half. I bought 68 and I offered 69 and a half. I got taken at 69 and a half. I'm offered at 70 and I didn't get taken there, so I started hitting the bids just for two contracts. Scalping the micro because I really want to make sure I kind of understand what's going on before I start with a larger contract like the ES. So there is a seller at 70 and 69, right? And once again, I'm just scalping to try and see where those sellers are. It's very choppy and not much follow through. And the candle's getting smaller is telling me kind of running out of steam. Let's see if we can get over 69.70 now. Above the open, there should be some buying if we crack that open, right? And if we get any follow through, the high of A. That's cool, RJ. Cool, cool. Right? Cut it up into little digestible pieces. It makes trading a lot easier to execute. Looking for VWAP again on the upside. There it is. Hey, it's the last week of summer. If you guys weren't there, I would not be in front of the screens today. I'll tell you that right now. If we accept over 72, you're looking for 74, where that overnight point of control is. It never did move down, right? The upper stops are 75 and 3/4, 76 and a quarter up here. Looking for 74. This price action, this price action seems familiar. It's that choppy kind of drunk guy going up the stairs price action. You don't think he's going to make it, but next thing you know, it's 3, 4 points higher. You got to be careful in that price action. Use your levels. Don't go and trade by feel. That's when you get into trouble. The reason that it's choppy is because business is slow and it's the infrequency of the order flow that's coming in. So it gets, it's like you get a little bit of buying and then it stops. And then you get a little bit of buying and then it stops. So that's very hard to short against. Use your levels and use the offer. If the market is offering, for example, pick 70. If the market can't offer under 70, that means they don't need to. If it offers under 70, it means the sellers have to sell under 70 because there's competition, right? There's no use me holding something and RJ going to sell it at 69 and I don't price compete. I got to price compete, right? I have to compete, right? And that's why price goes down because sellers compete to capture the buying. Very important. Bit of a rotation right now between 67 and VWAP. It's not the greatest trading environment. Well, last week of the summer means there's not going to be a fund manager sitting in his office right now, OJ. It's not just for school kids. Fund managers and school kids are kind of the same. Last week of summer, it's a big deal. People won't be back in their offices full until after Labor Day. So it's going to be slow and choppy. Hey, Patty Lou, how you doing? I'm glad the weekend update helped. I'm glad. Hey, Pollux. No, I have not read the book. I have not read his book, but I'm sure it's very good. We've had him on the podcast. The only problem with me and anchored VWAP is like Pringles. You just can't eat one. You start anchoring all over the place. Next thing you're at Best Buy, you're buying more monitors, and you're starting to look like the drummer from Iron Maiden, where you can't see him. He's surrounded by monitors or drums in his case. Right. I do like anchored VWAP, but I tend to get a bit carried away with it. So, caught between two VWAPs, eh, Pollux? That sounds like a bad country song. Brian's a good guy. Let's see if we can take out that A high and tickle that 74 level. You know, there's sometimes in this business, Pollux, you're a market maker. I'm sure you'll agree with me. There are sometimes in this business that is suitable for your type of business, and then other times when it's good for retail, right? Sometimes it's a wholesale only business. Oh. Now we're doing the VWAP shuffle, kind of like the Chicago Bears Super Bowl shuffle. Just back and forth over VWAP. Directionless, slow price action, choppy. I don't know if that low is going to hold, but hey, I don't want to bias people, so let's just chill and wait. I'm just lucky the air conditioning's working. Right. If we can't get above the open, I'd be looking for some shorts. It's not an A plus setup, so don't follow me into that. Right? Let's see if we have sellers at the open. You can short 69s, put some bids down at 67 and a half, right? Filled on one at 67 and a half, short two at 69.38, bought one back at 67. I got one left, and 66 and three quarters. I'm flat. So what I did was, this is like an old trading thing where you look to see if there's sellers at the open, right? We went over and we just couldn't get higher, right? They're selling into it and selling into it. So what I did was I shorted just between 69 and 69 and a half, put my stop above the open, and then I bid the market down, right? But you got to cover into weakness, right? No, I need AC if I'm going to trade. Otherwise, it's like 35 degrees Celsius because I'm in an apartment. It's all glass and it faces the sun. So I'll be cooked. Right, so that little short worked. Is the only real, and once again, right, just three contracts, right? And let's see if we get rotation. I gotta say I'm a little short biased. Why am I short biased? Because I'm seeing sellers, right? It's just that there's so many trap shorts underneath 63. Let's see what happens when we get down there now. Right? There we go. You know, it's after moves like Friday that you don't know what to expect the next day. So all you can do is monitor your levels, do a little scalping, right? And let the market show you the way. Otherwise, if you start getting too big for your britches, right, and starting to pretend you know exactly what's going to happen, you can get into a lot of trouble, right? Sideways action after a big move. And there's nothing wrong with that, right, Scalp King? It's like the market's trying to get its bearings, right? Oh, let's see what's next. Found bids down there again the second time. Yeah. The thing is, don't get too attached, right, to your outlook, right? Let the chart tell you what's going to happen. We've got some data at 10. Yeah, 10 minutes, right, till some sort of news. That's good, that's good. Maybe it shakes something loose. Seeing bids again. Let's see if we can creep above VWAP. So the last trade I sold the open, right? And I was gonna buy the open, and then as soon as I thought about saying buy the open, wow, wham! They whacked it. So there's a seller at VWAP. Okay, that's okay. It's a good thing I'm slow, right? Otherwise, I would have gotten punished. Well, RJ, so Friday was a Fed hint, right, about interest rates. Now, it's not official, but he hinted at it. So the problem is with sort of when you wish upon a star macro, you don't know whether or not that's going to be put into place or not. So it's very hard to judge. You got to give it some time. And remember, it's the end of the month on Thursday, right? So what is the agenda? The agenda is to look like you're smart and let the market go up so clients are happy with their statements. When they look at their statements on the Labor Day weekend, they're happy, right? Remember, this business is all about OPM. So it would behoove you, right, to let assets get marked up. Other people's money, brother. This business runs on other people's money. Trillions and trillions of dollars of other people's money, and people get paid on performance, right? So when you manage other people's money, you want them to feel happy. So they give you more money, right? Because then you can charge more. Remember that this is a business, right? This is a business. The charts that you're looking at reflect the agenda of business. Exactly. And last I checked, private planes haven't gotten any cheaper. For those of us who don't have to fly EasyJet like me, I'm all for the 49-pound ticket to France. But there are others, who don't want to fly on sleazy jet. So they have to buck up for a private plane. We've got a rotation, right, Corsi, right now? We've got a nice choppy rotation right here. Yeah. Exactly. It's nice when the market's up at the end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the year, right? But you have to have the order flow to do it. I fly sleazy jet, easy jet. I think they're even cheaper. You're welcome, Chris. What qualifies as a rotation? You guys will call it consolidation, or uh, it's just back and forth in a box. Just like the word implies, it rotates back and forth, up and down and up and down and up and down. Range bound. There you go, RJS. Whiskey bent and range bound, indeed. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What's the hot stock of the morning? Anything popping out there? Now, I was lucky. Renee told me this morning that Nvidia has earnings, right? On Wednesday or something. So we just cannot get over 71 and a quarter, can we? It's like there's a wall of selling at 71 and a quarter right now. Well, they heard me. They heard me. Just for a second, they let it breathe. Goodness gracious, this is slow. Okay, next August. Remind us, we take the last week of August off and go somewhere fancy. Oh, I still remember I went away for 4 days in May at month end. The south of France is nice, Hank. Dear God, it's beautiful. Everybody says Europe is overrated. I'm here to say it's not. It's definitely not overrated. Can we creep up to 74, folks? What do you think? Jeez. Now, we've got our news coming in 30 seconds, so maybe that will help. Let's see, Howard. Let's see. We're going to give it a shot. Right? If the inventory's underneath us, Howard, what's that good to see you? Happy Monday. What's the agenda? What do we do with the inventory now, right? Now we go take that cheap stuff. Let's go try and sell it between 75 and 80. Nice call, Howard. Good call. Oh, thanks, OJ. That's good. We took out those stops. Golly. Whew, and back down. Jeez. No follow through, eh? Let's see if that B low can hold the open. This is the problem with breakouts in ES, Renee. Breakouts are very hard to trade because what happens, I'm glad you brought that up. What happens is the market breaks out and it takes out the stop at A high, okay? And that creates buying, and the traders that are long here just hammer into it and sell into it. And that's why you get that false breakout. Too early, Raj. Too early. Maybe. Who knows? We're only half an hour in, brother. We'll see. I don't know where the bid is going to be because Friday was freaky deaky. You know what I mean? Because Friday was such a strange day, my sense of direction and where normal stuff is, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have a P profile. I don't know if we're going to take back that whole Friday range. Do you remember the one time Powell did this and we had a huge move up and the next day that whole move got taken right back? Does anybody remember that? I think it was 2 years ago or something. Do you guys remember that? So when you see stuff like that, I won't try and be Marvin the mind reader and pretend, right, that I know what's going to happen. I got to let the market tell me. Now, I know that sounds wishy-washy, but at least that way you're not making really bad bets at the wrong place in the wrong time. Bad trades. You don't have FOMO or anything. You're just, oh, look, B period right to the point of control. And when it's just this choppy, it's so hard to tell what's going to happen 2 or 3 hours from now, right? It's like when you open a store, Raj. Think about it this way. It's 9 o'clock and you've just opened up, what's your favorite store there? Aldi? Uh, what's that place you go to all the time? Right? You've just opened the doors, right? So at 7 o'clock in the morning, you have no idea who the hell's going to come through the door at 3 in the afternoon. They don't have Target here, Scalp King. Right? So when you open up the store for business, you have no idea what's going to come in at 3 p.m. Asda, that's it. Right? That's why it's, you just take it as it comes, right? It could be a P profile, or the whole thing could collapse on itself. Right now I'm seeing bids at 69, and under that I'm seeing bids at 64. Other than that, it's hard to tell, right? So just stick to the 1 minute chart. Try and get, a nice setup. If it's too choppy and you're tempted to trade, you know, go to M&S and, have your donut and then come back, right? Price action might be a little bit better. See, this is the worst kind of price action for a Monday because everybody's done their homework on the weekend. They're all ready to go, right? They've had their Folgers or whatever, you know, super powered coffee that they've had, right? And they're all amped up and ready to go, and it's Monday, and boom, the bell rings, and then nothing happens, right? And everyone's sitting there going, "Come on, let's go!" Right? And they go short, then you go long, then you go short, then you go long. You're like, wait, I got stopped out 3 or 4 times. That's no fun, right? We're gonna have to let this thing warm up a bit. All I can tell is if we get above, where's the overnight point of control? If we can stay above the overnight point of control, we could try and take this stuff and go sell it up here. If that can't happen, then we're going to come back and test these single prints and really find buyers because there's not enough buying to keep it over 74 right now. Yeah, it's like a beautiful day. Everybody went to the beach. Nobody went to Target. They still have Target in the States, right? It's they got rid of Kmart, didn't they? Yeah. Good grief, this is really slow. Let's see. How's Crab Apple? 228. Microsoft holding 504. What else were we watching? Oh, yes, that Palantir. It's finding its legs. What else were we looking at? The Rainforest, 227. Triple Qs, 569. It's not much going on out there, folks. I will be taking Monday off next week, so there will not be a session. The markets are closed. What is the business reason for a test? You mean a test trade? Is that what you mean, V? Testing a level? Or testing a trade? Well, the business reason is to see what orders are above and below that level. Oh yeah, hope the dog's okay there, Jem. So testing a level is when you go down to that level and you want to see what's cooking underneath that level, right? Because you don't know if there's going to be buying. So like right now, look at 64.74, right? We had a seller there. Now that seller has lifted their offer because they see buying. But if sellers start competing at 74.75, then they'll offer underneath 74. So how a market reacts at a level tells you the order flow at the level. You know how you guys talk about order flow trading and order flow trading tools and order flow trading software? Well, before all that snake oil existed, people would just watch a level. And then they would be able to tell if there's buying or selling at that level. See? Remember how I said they're going to compete and push price under 74? There you go. Right? You can tell a lot from a 1-minute chart. You don't need to spend any money on fancy software, right? You just watch the 1-minute chart, put the bid-ask indicator on, and watch the offer, the ask. The ask will tell you everything that you need to know. And when I take a test trade, it's like testing the market to see whether my brain is working. So I always do test trades with the micro, and if that works, then I'll, switch to the mini. But if I start trading with the micro and I take 2 or 3 stop outs, well, then I haven't lost a lot of money. It's very easy to follow the ask, right? You don't short when the ask is moving higher, it means they're raising price. Don't short that, right? When the ask is moving lower, it means they're putting price on sale. Don't buy that. It's kind of common sense, right? And that's what we do at the tradingsyndicate.org. And I invite you to come join us. It's less than $1 a day, and we'll teach you actual knowledge that you can use to make a living. right? So there's no hokey indicators. There's no double talk. Here's where you take the trade. This is why. This is why the trade's going to work, so you know when the trade stops working to get the hell out, right? So you're not, going down with the ship, right? Everything's order flow, RJ. Buy orders flow in, sell orders flow in, they transact. That's called order flow. They've taken that and they've made it a marketing term to try and sell you $2,000 software and courses that teach you nothing, right? Oh, it means that there's no sell order underneath that level, and it should pop up. Now let's see. AZS. Can we offer underneath the open, take that below and drive it down? There you go. Ooh, we got a sell order. Someone called the newspaper. Remember, it is Monday, and month end's not till Thursday. So we don't have to mark this thing up today, right? And the thing about these markets is that notice how every time we come down to 64.68, the price magically finds buyers underneath that level. Since the open, every time we go under 64.68, magically we just stop selling. You guys notice that? Take a step back and look at your charts. Notice here, here, here for 3 minutes, here for 4 minutes. But really, since the open, do you notice how it's been bid 68? Anyone notice that? And you don't need any special software to tell you that. Right? Let me clean up this chart a little bit. And even if I just get rid of all the drawings, and you just went and drew a line at 68. Look at that. So for 3 minutes we were under 68, and we keep looking below and failing. Right? So what does that tell you? That tells you that the bids are underneath 68 for now. Right? There you go. So a simple candle chart. You don't really need, you just have to be able to draw a line and be able to pay attention. Right? You don't need to spend thousands on software, and all this stuff. So if you're a scalper and once you get good, once you train yourself, what do? Right? When the market looks below and fails 68, you buy it. So you don't buy it when it looks below, you buy it when it comes back above and put some sell orders in. Buy it, put some sell orders in. Buy it, put some sell orders in. Right? That way you can scalp 68. See? Right? This way you can make some money without incurring massive amounts of risk, right? All you have to do is be a little open-minded and spend some time watching. If you were drawing a balance, right? Say you just came in and started drawing a balance, you'd go, okay, maybe 68 to where are they selling into it now? 73, 72, right? This is that's that rotation. Hey, Nimble Jack. Okay, cool. Good, good. All right. What we want to do is we want to teach you how to react to change. That's what trading is really all about. Trading is just reacting to change. So you train yourself on how to react and execute when the market changes, right? So you know how to react when you're in a trade and it starts going sideways on you, right? Oh, the business is not supporting what I'm thinking. Let me get out of this and reassess. And that way you can, not blow up all your capital. It's a slow morning, AZS. It's a slow morning in Walmart, right? It's Monday. Everybody's still tired from that big barbecue. Let's see if we can get past the goalkeeper at 73. One thing I can say with certainty is that if we don't take out the overnight low, right, please be careful on the short side, right? If we can't take out the overnight low, really be careful on the short side. See how you have constant sellers here, right? So right now our rotation went from larger to smaller, right? Well, OJ, were they profitable 9 trades? Listen, because if they're profitable, that's one thing, right? When the market gives you some change, take it. Overnight low is 64, 60 and 3/4. So if you went long 68, stop under there again, sell VWAP, right? Pick up 3 points, right? All right. If I can't appeal to be patient, OJ, let's be smart. How about that? Let's appeal to your ego, right? Instead of telling people hate being told to be patient. Do you notice that? People absolutely hate being told to be patient. You notice as soon as you tell someone to be patient, that's exactly when they'll be not patient. So let's appeal to your ego. Let's say, hey, be smart, right? And hey, listen, if you get tilted when it's choppy and you can't keep yourself from trading, right? Step away from the screen, right? There you go, Taco. Right? Long 68, selling 69 and 3/4. I got one to go at 70. I got one contract left out at 70. So I'm just scalp at 68. Boom, 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 boom. You know? And I won't do that too much. Right? There'll be a little selling at VWAP, a little bit of selling at 70 what? And don't be too hard on yourself, Juice. It's Monday. Take it easy. Everyone's eager to make money on Monday, right? Kind of ease into the week. Oh, yeah, there's no such thing as house money. Remember, you're here to earn a living. So that's you're playing with your own money. You're not playing with house money. Maybe reframe it. That word house money is the worst thing for retail traders because they don't consider the money their own. House money is a bad term. I don't know where you guys got that from. Is that from casinos? Is that like a casino gambling term? House money? I never knew where you guys got that from. I see that the chat, way to go, Taco, you've blown the whole chat up. Oh, man. Right? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as house money, Pollux, even for desk traders. There's money and money, right? It's a business. There's no house money. Why is the opening range and overnight range so important? Because, Deuce, everybody can see it. Think of certain things like the overnight high, the overnight low, the previous day high, the previous day low. Those are like things like that everybody can see. They're like the popular nightclub that everybody hangs out at. So you're looking for a reaction when you get to those levels. Yeah. Why do you think we're trading in such a small range, Jeannie? Because we've got a large short position underneath us. It's Monday and nobody really wants to play. So, Jeannie, if you were a large trader and you were managing a couple of $100 million, right? You wouldn't really want to be initiating long here, right? You might have a small short position that you're nursing, right? Also, it's the last week of summer, and next weekend is a long weekend and the end of the month. So you're not going to put on risk before a long weekend into the end of the month. So it's like a slow morning in Walmart. That's why it's the range. When the ranges are smaller, it just means the business is slower. That's funny. Gee. See, I grew up in the business, right? I grew up in the market. From a young adult, I was around people who were businessmen in the market. So all of these terms that you guys use are foreign to me, right? Money is money. When you see money, you take it and run. You don't pretend that it's house money, right? Right? You sell some stock, it takes you time to do that. It's a pain in the ass. So you're happy that you take the money and you get the money the hell out of your brokerage account, right? You know what I'm talking about, Miami. You've been on desks. Well, folks, that's it for me. Thank you very much for joining me on this painfully slow Monday. I hope C period is not an inside bar for those of you who are watching. I am going to go and get some exercise before my girlfriend kills me. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go enjoy the sun. If you need me, I'll be back in about an hour and a half. If you need me for anything, just leave a message. I got to go get my 10,000 steps in. Otherwise, I'm going to be in big trouble. Okay? Thanks, everyone. Come join us at the Trading Syndicate. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.